We're going to look at Keyword Atlas. We need to spend some time with Keyword Atlas. Now, I've already gotten a question in here this morning. Why did we switch from Longtail Pro? And I'm going to show you Longtail Pro. So, and I'm going to show you Keyword Atlas. And I'll tell you exactly why we switched from Longtail Pro. So this is the Keyword Atlas link, MyNAMS.ws/Keyword Atlas. Now, keywords are going to become a vital part of your traffic generation and your content planning. And that's the reason that we're focusing on keywords so much in this. Now, people tend to not take this seriously enough. So I put that link, Keyword Atlas, in there. This is the sales page for Keyword Atlas. And this is a one-time fee. I searched long and hard to find a good one, and I really should have started with this guy. I like his products a lot, Dave Gwindon. And one-time fee, $37. Longtail Pro, which I bought 5 years ago maybe, for $47 one time, is now $300 a year for the basic. So, and I understand why. It is because they have to pay for searches and pay for your consistent use of Longtail Pro. So this is Longtail Pro, and you start the $1 trial. And when you go to the pricing on this thing, you'll see it's a $1 trial, but it doesn't tell you that annual payment of $297 right there. All right. So we're not going to do that. We're gonna work with something a little bit more focused and economical for you. If you want to do Longtail Pro, you can sure go for it. And Longtail Pro I love, and I'm going to use a lot myself. Keyword Atlas, I'm beginning to like it a lot too. So I'm going to pull up Keyword Atlas, and it's a desktop installation, and it's for Mac and PC. That was a key thing for me. I wanted it to be for both. So I looked long and hard to find this. There are a lot of good keyword tools out there, and most of them are multiple dollars per month. I mean, most of them are recurring and all of that. So let me get rid of this for a second. All right. So now Keyword Atlas. When you buy it, you log in, you open it up, and you'll get this. And this is a very simple screen. Now they have great training tools. They have great training tools here for how to use this. So you can start with that. Now, suggest keywords. The way Keyword Atlas works, I'll go to Google here for a second. The way the Keyword Atlas works is that it uses this technology. So let's say I'm going to look up gardening, since that's Amy's deal, gardening. So you can see when I put in gardening and a space, it shows me other things that people are looking for right here. This is called keyword suggestions. This one is the most popular keyword being searched right now. This is real time. This is the most popular one being searched right now. This is the most popular one being searched after that. So it's in order, right? And it also is regionalized. So that's in Alabama, which is where I am, okay? So every search engine does that. They have this keyword suggest thing going on. And Bing and Google and Yahoo and all of those have the very same thing. And Keyword Atlas, when you do the suggest keywords, it's going to pull in the kind of keywords that you're looking for. So you can choose global or you can choose region, and it's only pulling in these regions. And it's these are all English speaking, which is good for us. Okay, so you can do all of those, or you can just do the region. So I'm doing just United States. Select items. You can. This is really cool. You can choose Google, Bing, Yahoo, Ask, AOL, DuckDuckGo. If you're doing e-commerce, you can choose these stores that have search engine APIs. And all you have to do is click on it, it's going to add it. If you're doing video marketing, you can search these for video keywords. And then this is Wikipedia and Google Play Store as well. So I'm going to search. I'm going to add Bing and Yahoo, and then I'm going to come back over here. And so Google, Bing, Yahoo, and position score. Okay. So I'm going to come back over here. Let's take out Yahoo, and I want to add DuckDuckGo. Okay. So there's DuckDuckGo. Yahoo's gone. So I'm going to come back. Okay. So we put gardening in here. Now I've got keyword, country, Google, Bing, Yahoo. Position score is about where this is in that ranking. Remember, we did this guy, where it is in that ranking. So position score for Google gardening zones would be 1 on Google, okay? And it depends on where you're searching from and all that kind of stuff. So, but it'll give you a good idea of what's being out there and searched. So here's gardening. We're going to run it and see what we get. Let's see, going to hit start. Now you'll see down here in the bottom that it's just cranking away. And what it does is it goes through gardening A, gardening B, gardening C. It does A as a prefix and B and then A as a suffix. So it's A space garden, then garden space A. And it goes through and it searches all of those things. Now, remember we said gardening zones and supplies, and for beginners, this is exactly the way it was when we did our Google search. So it pulls in the search information. And so it shows you here that that's number 1. And it says that this is number 1 as well, which means that they must fluctuate back and forth a lot. Gardening beginners has a little bit of a lower rate. Gardening tools has a little bit lower right there. But then you get Bing and you get Yahoo, and these are different positions on their searching suggest engines. So this is almost finished. It's running 53 passes in those 3. Now, depending on what you choose, it will take a long, long time or pretty short. But notice we have 860 keywords over here. 800, now we're 900, and we've got 2 more passes to go. So we're going to hit almost 1,000. Okay, there's 979 keywords, and it's done. Tells you right in the bottom. Okay, so the position score on these is the top one. I can just click the columns and sort, right? So I can sort by position score, and it gives me the top and the low. Here's the top one. These are 100. So gardening by the yard is position number 1 in all 3 of these. Okay, gardening quotes is position 1 in all 3. So 100 is the best. So you've got 5 that are doing really good, right? Now, let me show you something that we can do here to put a weight on this. Which is more important to you, Google, Bing, or Yahoo? We're getting good information on what some of the keywords are, but if it's in Google, which is 10 times bigger than any other search engine out there, it seems like, we probably want to give that a higher weight. So what I've done here is I've given Google an importance of 10, and I've given Bing an importance of 8. Now, Bing is not that important to me. I'm going to make Bing 6. And I'm going to make Yahoo even less important. So Yahoo's a 4. Google's big, Bing is 6, Yahoo's 4. Now it's going to give a lot of weight to Google, okay? So now I do this. These scores will adjust based on what I put in here. So because these are all 1s across, it's still 100. But these scores down here will adjust based on what the search result was. So this is still a 1, but notice that that's a 3, but it's only a much lesser importance. So it still has a really good score for us. So that's a position score that we like. That gives us an idea of what's being searched right now. And that's what this is. Not only good for historic, but it's also good for trending, okay? All right, so now let's look at this and I say, okay, these top ones I'm really excited about, and I may or may not be, but I'm just going to checkbox these. And I'm going to say, these are my, remember we talked about focus keywords earlier? each one of these might be a focus keyword that we want to keep, whether they are or not. We're just saying that, okay? So let's get all 100s right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do this, and the send selected to related keyword tools. I'm going to click on that. Okay, this tab opened up and it copied those keywords right over here. So now I want this, when I run search on this, I want this to give me related keywords that I might be missing with these in here. So I click start, and it's doing some passes there. It's got 6 passes to go. It's picked up 47, 63, 72. Okay, so now we have 88 related keywords. Gardening by the yard, Netflix. Okay, so, and it shows you where the source is over here. So these are keywords that you're going to scan through this and say, well, you know, this gardening by the yard, I don't have any idea what that is, but it seemed really popular. So what is that? That must be an HGTV show. I bet that's what it is. So we click on those. Whatever else we want to take over. So you can see these are just all different kinds of ideas. These are idea generators. And if you look at keywords as a traffic and content plan, you're going to look at 2 things. You're going to look at the source, not the source, but the number of searches, but you're also going to look at the potential to use the keywords as topics for your content. Correct? So let's just do this. Now we're gonna go over and find out. This is the difference between this one and Longtail Pro. Longtail Pro includes all of the search data for you, so that it's all in one screen. You have to do a little hoop jump in here for this one, and this is not that tough, but it is, and he's done a really good job of integrating this stuff. So, but you do have to follow the directions on getting it done. So we're going to take these, we're going to take them all 970 of them. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to select all rows. Okay. Now I'm going to create a file. I'm going to save it to a project file. First, I'm going to save it to a CSV. Okay. And there's keywords for gardening. Okay. Saving that. All right. Now I'm going to go to search volume, which is right here. Now I could have just copied all of these as well, but I'm going to go to search volume, and I'm going to come to these 2. This is Storybase and this is Google. Storybase, these are 2 free search volume opportunities for you. So Storybase, you can only do 800 at a time. You do 800 or you can do 2,500. If you're on Google, you can do 2,500. But you have to choose Google for that one, 2,500. But I'm going to do Storybase because I want to show you Storybase. Okay, so I'm going to come back to 800. It gives me 2 sets. So I'm going to copy this. And when I click copy, it opens up the Storybase website. And you can see it here. And right here is where you paste in those keywords that you copied, because you hit that copy and you did 800. It's going to submit 800. Now, it's running. Here it says 30%, 40%. It's running, and it's giving us all of these search categories or search results, giving us all the search results. Now it's done. So I'm going to download this. And I gotta get this out of the way so I can see what's going on. And let's see, I just call this gardening. I usually organize this stuff better so it's all in one spot, but I'm just going to put it in here. Keyword results. Okay, that's in downloads, good. Okay. Now I'm going to come back here. I open up my Finder or my whatever file manager you have, and I'm going to grab this as my file, gardening keyword results, CSV, drag it over into this box. Now I have all my search results right here. So it's a free way of getting all the search results. This right here saves you about $300 a year, because that's what the other keyword tools are really paying for, is to do this seamlessly. But this guy figured it out how to do this pretty easily and save yourself some money. So now let's sort this by search. So gardening is 22,000, square foot gardening is that. And the position scores on these are pretty low. Gardening tools, this is Amy's big one right here. This is where you make money, isn't it, Amy, on gardening tools?
It is.
Okay. So what that tells us is it's got a really good position score. There's a really good search amount, monthly search of 9,900. And so this would be one that you want to do. But here's what you really look at. You look at this over here and just highlight this. How many topics do you have here for keywords? Square foot gardening, gardening tools, container gardening, gardening zones, hardening of the arteries. I don't know why that got in there. Hydroponic gardening, gardening tips, direct gardening, gardening supplies, gardening ideas, gardening for beginners. These are all great topics, right? So that gives you, that's why keywords are so important. And we're going to really focus on this tool a lot in building out your content and marketing plan, okay? Any questions? Amy, anything you want to say about this?
No, it's a great tool.
Pretty impressive.
I've heard a couple questions asking again about the color coding.
Yeah, so you can take a look at the color coding here and the my take on it, and I haven't seen the explanation for it myself, but just from using it, my take on it is that the yellow is, not great. The green is good, and the red is almost non-existent, or is in most cases non-existent.
Okay, so a no-go. Okay.
Yeah, a no-go. Yeah.
And I can see that based on some of them. So where some of them would be maybe tough to get on the first page for.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it really gets, I mean, if you're talking about topics, and you can't come up with ideas, you put in your seed, keyword, which in this case is gardening. And then you really just expand from there, and you've got a gazillion topics now. You can from this one search, you can spend the entire year writing content. Yeah, if you have other tools that you like better and you're already using, that's great. It's not that you have to have this tool for keyword research. All you have to do is get a file with keywords in it that you can analyze. I don't care what tool you use. So does that make sense to people? Don't worry about it. I see Market Samurai, Uber Suggest, Longtail Pro. Absolutely, use whatever you got. But I'm just trying to give everybody a low cost option here to do some really good keyword search. And the lowest cost, of course, is going to Google Search Console and Google Keyword Planner, which are free, but I think they're a little more difficult to use than something like this.
And they also make you they used to make you put your credit card in.
Yeah, they did. Okay, so people are asking some specific questions here that I do not have answers for, like where do they pull their information from based on the tool? I don't have that. Position score, I went through that. Position score is when you do the search on Google or Bing or Yahoo, where it comes up in the auto suggest. That's what that is. Yep. Google Planner tool, if you know how to use it, it's great. Go for it. Okay, so exporting to the CSV is right here, the file. So that'll do that. Yeah, and saving a project file is different from saving the file. So you can save the project file. That's the choice here. Saving the project file means you can come back to it. You can load it. You can load the project file as well. You can save to CSV, you can save the text, you can save the keywords to CSV, you can save the text, copy all the keywords. These are just the options, right? Okay, whoops. By the way, Storybase is a pretty cool tool. It's got a lot of good information in it and some really nice functions and features. And I thought, oh boy, GoPro, what's that going to be? It's $4.99 a month or $24 a year. So, you know, I jumped on the pro part of this. It gives you 50,000 keyword searches a day, just plenty for anybody. So I'll show you real quickly keyword. People want to know what the difference is between Keyword Atlas and Longtail Pro. Amy and I use the Longtail Pro. And so I'll just show you quickly what that is.
And I thought Greg had a good question. I wouldn't mind trying to really quickly address that if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Greg asks, thinking of 80-20 rule, is Keyword Atlas sufficient for most keyword discovery, or should we augment with other SEO software like SEMrush or Ahrefs? And the short answer is yes, always. Another thing that I really like to do
yes to
is,
what?
yes, augment. So don't just use Keyword Atlas as your only tool to look for keywords. You want to look at other avenues to really, you know, because the keyword, you're trying to get on the first page of Google. And I mean, that's what we're all trying for. And so you need more than just Keyword Atlas. So one of the things that I do literally with every single keyword I test is I go to Google and I pop that keyword in and I look at what websites are showing up on the first page of Google along with what their topics are. Because if you want to do an article on, say, internet marketing tools, and your article, your idea for your blog post doesn't match with how the other articles that Google has identified for internet marketing tools, then Google won't rank you for the first page. Additionally, if you type in internet marketing tools and you see that the entire first page is flooded with really big websites, and I'm talking Amazon, you know, anybody like that, that there's no way you can knock them off, then you might want to consider a different keyword.
Yeah, so I agree with Amy on almost all of that. The first thing I would say though is just start. Don't make it too complicated. So, you know, get a set of keywords, come up with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 that you're going to work with on a regular basis, and then do all of that testing on those 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. The thing that happens is you get 1,000 keywords and you get overwhelmed immediately. So,
and that's true. And you can, and there's a really dark, long rabbit hole you can go down with all this.
That's right. Right. All right. So if you see this right here, and this is Longtail Pro, and they do SERP analysis, rank tracking, backlink analysis, and all of this stuff. So it's a lot more robust. And it has, I've got 967 keywords remaining in this 24-hour period of 1,000. And my rank tracking, I've got some terms being rank tracked, and I've got a lot of backlinks that I can sign up for. But I have all of that stuff there. So I've got gardening in, and in the 25 to 30, you see the 25 is green up here. Anything below 25 is green. Anything between 25 and 30 is yellow, which means those are my targeted competitiveness that would be easy to rank for. And so I've typed in gardening. Now I'm going to hit retrieve 20. I can put in here 100 or whatever I want, but let's just do 20 right now because I want to show you one of the things I love about Longtail Pro. Okay, so it's going to go get everything. We don't have to do any download or anything like that to find out what the search volume is and everything. So if these are the first 19 keywords that are coming up, and this is average KC is their proprietary number from 0 to 100, which shows you how difficult it is, or talks about how difficult it is to rank for that number or for that keyword. And 100 is impossible. I don't think there are many 100s out there, but mostly you'll find them in the 50 to 60 range. And we'll probably see some of those because I can click on that and it will sort. So here's gardening information plants is 54, but the volume is really low, so I don't care anyway, right? So it's really hard to rank for that, but I don't care. So I'm looking at the volume here. Gardening by itself is 165,000 searches a month. And if you can rank for it really well, you bid for it for $1.51, you would get the value. They give you a rank value, meaning that if you got #1 on Google, you get $1,500 back in return for your $1 investment. That doesn't seem bad, does it? But if, like Amy was saying, we click on this to see who the see who the competitors are, it's going to show me. So I click on this. Competition analysis shows us that Country Living Magazine, gardening, is #1. Miracle Grow is #2, but it is a 30, so it would be approachable, or supposedly approachable. Chicago Botanic Garden, gardeners.com. Now the thing you can look at is, look at this over here, the indexed URLs. So it has, what is that? 432 million or 43 million? I can't tell. Yeah, 432 million indexed URLs on Wikipedia, so you're never going to get anywhere with that one. Internal links, site age, all of the information about these. So this is really good information for you to see. Well, I'm not going to mess with that one, right? I'm not going to mess with gardening. So I'll come back and I'll start looking for some things that I might want to mess with over here. But the other thing is, let's find something that has a lot of searches, like container gardening is pretty good. 45. That's a little high. I don't want to, I'm probably not going to be able to rank very well for that, but there's 12,000 searches a month. Can I get a little piece of that? It's a high value long tail keyword. It's not too long tail. It's a high value 2-word keyword. So I'm going to click on get 20 more. This is another thing that I like about Longtail Pro a lot, is you just, right here, you just start digging in. So notice now that I have 25 keywords. And it's got vegetable container gardening, 46. And because I'm sorted on average KC, let's see if we got some lower end KCs down here that help me. I'll go to the 100. And container gardening supplies is getting there. It's getting close, right? So Amy, what do you think about the drilling in part of this? Are you seeing anything that catches your eye?
I am. So some of these keywords, I think, maybe I saw vegetable gardening for beginners, or the container vegetable gardening, because now you're getting really drilled down. And in essence, it makes me think that people might be, more likely, the more detailed the keyword is, the more buyer intent you're going to find too.
Yep. Okay. I don't want to get too much into that because we're going to spend a lot of time on all of that for driving your traffic and everything a little bit later. And we're way over time already. So, but that's exactly, Amy, what I wanted you to say. I mean, it's exactly because this vegetable gardening for beginners is 880 searches a month. That's pretty good. And one of the things that we tend to do is we look at what the bid price is here and what the value is. So the bid price is 87 cents. The value is $4.80. And we look at this and we think, well, this one's 23. Why wouldn't I go to this one for 23? Or this one up here is, where was that? 1,500. Oh, I want that one. I want that one, right? Let's not get greedy. This is 500% ROI if you can rank for that. So this is not for sure. I mean, it's not in stone that you're going to get this amount of money, but it's a good indicator that it is a profitable keyword. So when Amy talked about vegetable gardening, that's one we definitely want to look at, and that's still a good search amount.
And that tells you people are specifically hunting. They're going to do something.
Yeah.
So they're taking action, and we want them during that action phase.
And that's called an intent keyword.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. I'm gonna get out of this and get out of this, get out of this, and I think we are going to come back to.
Lynn asked a good question too. If we have ideas or products, do we do a keyword search to see if there is interest or it's viable? Yes.
Okay, that is
absolutely.
that's homework number one.
It is.
That's on building your niche. So choosing a niche properly. So that is homework number one. Storybase is exactly what I said. It's free, really. I mean, I would not buy it unless you decide you're going to do a lot more with it. And it is storybase.io, and you go into Keyword Atlas, will take you right there.